go. Parents often ask, is a delay in motor skill evidence of some special need, an intellectual disability, for example, in a child? And the first question, or the first issue to address, is what's the age of the child and what behaviors is the child already able to do? For example, if we're talking about a child who is not able to sit up and they're now 10 months old, then that often is an indication of a significant developmental problem, usually intellectual disability, because the normal time for being able to sit up by themselves is 6 months to 8 months. But there are more behaviors we look at. Now let's imagine the child is 1 year old and they're not walking yet, which is also a motor skill. If a child is not walking at 12 months, that does not mean they have a special need, because the range for being able to walk and still be normal is roughly around 9 months to 16 months. So it depends on the type of motor delay the child has that would indicate if the child has a special need or not. And there's another issue involved. That is, some children will have a gross motor delay. That's talking about the large muscles of the body. And other children will have a fine motor delay. That's the small muscles of the body, like being able to scribble or write. And so there is no correlation between fine motor delay and intellectual disability, but there is frequently a significant correlation between gross motor delay or gross motor difficulty and intellectual disability. So it depends on the time frame. If a child has cerebral palsy, for example, then they'll have difficulty walking, even though they might have normal intelligence. So this is where consulting an expert is absolutely vital to identify if the child's gross motor skill, that means their large muscles, or their fine motor skills are related to any kind of disability. And usually, gross motor delay or gross motor limitation is related to intellectual disability. If it goes beyond the normal range in which a child develops those gross motor skills. If it's a fine motor delay, it is rare that it's related to intellectual disability. It's much more common that it is related to a language delay, and that is 85% of the time genetic, just inherited by the child from either mama's side of the family or baba's side of the family. And then with training, the child will be able to develop normal language skills and normal fine motor skill. Thank you for listening. are often confused about the issue of language development, especially if their child has a language delay. And the biggest thing for parents to understand is that if a child has a language delay, it doesn't matter that you introduce more than one language at a time. It is still developmentally the wisest path to take to help a child develop communication skills, to introduce a child to more than one language at the same time. Thank you for listening.